Hey everyone, this is Jennifer with Midwest Wilderness Connections. I am down at the Vault Art Gallery and I just brought down a bunch of new botanical plaster casts. That's where I take actual plants and I cast them so you get very realistic impressions of them in plaster. So it's almost like fossilizing plants. And I was just going to run through and show you guys what we've got available down here. The Vault Art Gallery is in Tuscola, Illinois, just south of Champaign-Urbana area in the United States. Here I've got a allium honeysuckle cast. That's a big one. That's 24 inches tall, 16 inches wide. Really beautiful detail in here. The different flowers, the leaves. I also have one a little more colorful here. This is tiger lily with apple mint and yellow loosestrife. Up high here, I have some casts that have larkspur or delphiniums with cast iron metal frames. So what's really cool about those, I wish I had a lighter I'd get up there and show you guys, but what's cool about those is you can see the frame is casting shadows, which is neat with the shadows cast on the actual botanical bas-relief. Another big cast I have here, this is also 16 by 24, but this is a landscaped position. You can see there it's got milkweed, wild bergamot, flowering spurge, Canada wild rye, mountain mint. What else do I have in there? Black-eyed Susans and oxeye daisies, I believe, or maybe cup plant. It might be cup plant. Here's another one. It's a little bit smaller. There we've got horsetail or mare's tail. We've got the loose strife again, the yellow loose strife. I've got woundwort in there, woundwort in there as well. And that one's just plain. It's just the plain plaster with the clay residue. Clay is what I use for the basically my mold. You can kind of see the detail in the flowers there. So the clay staining, like you can see on this one, I cleaned a lot of the clay staining off, so it's a little more white. Here I left a little more on, so you get a little more contrast. Sometimes it's just what'll come off and what won't. Sometimes I can't get it all off. Here is a ostrich fern frond. That one's on a natural plaster background, but it's hand painted. And it's glossy acrylic, and so what's really cool is it shines, it almost glows. I really love that one. Here's another one of my background tinted. This is from this spring. I've got daffodils. These cute little guys at the bottom are henbit with tulips, and these little dainty guys on the sides, I kind of stuck them in here and there. Those are chickweed. Here's another one with a background that is tinted that's just a little bit cream colored. And again, it's daffodils. You guys can see the detail on those. The henbit again. And then I also have Glory of the Snow, which is a type of scilla, a spring flower. And then up top here are the flower buds of maple tree. I love casting daffodils, they're so pretty. I also have some little guys. If you don't have a lot of space, you're just looking for something for a small space. Like these are erynginiums. Some people call them, is it sea flowers or sea foam? I can't remember, it's sea something. I know the scientific name, but those are blue erynginiums. You see them a lot in bouquets. This one here is a rose, and it's in a heart shape. Another little guy. This one's in a kind of a scalloped. This is a stock flower, and this one is actually, let me turn it because the light I'm in the shadows here. But if you turn it, you can see here, this is that Eranginium again, but I tinted the actual bas-relief because you can see how it's almost like 3D. I tinted that purple, and this is in a shadow box, a wooden shadow box. All my stuff is signed and one of a kind. I don't have duplicates. I'll show you here in a second. They're all original. I may have a couple of ones that are, I'm going to show you in a second here and I'll explain it. I will just wait a second. So here I've got a Kusa dogwood. This is also from this spring. But I've got a Kusa dogwood that has a pink tinted background. And you can see there, you can kind of see that detail in the bas-relief, how it sticks out like that. This is another Kusa dogwood. This one's landscape oriented. This may be around like 10 by 11, somewhere in there. And this one has a gray. In this light, it looks like it's kind of a brownish background, but it's actually, there we go. If I get closer, you can see it's actually more of a gray, kind of a real shadowy background on that Kusa dogwood. This one is another one I've got with a background tint in blue. This one is in a repurposed frame. It's a kind of a wood finish type frame with gold detail. It also has a gold loop for hanging at the top. But in here we've got hoary vervain, bottle brush grass. This is the vining milkweed. Some people call it blue vine. Here we've got soapwort. And here's another one of my casts here. This one was baby's breath with a daisy. Here's one of my framed. This one, pull it out. And things are looking a little more psychedelic than they are. I mean, this is bright. But let's see if I go closer again, if we're going to get a... like I said, it's not as... Maybe as I get away here, you can see. But this is... Go closer again, if we're going to get a... like I said, it's not as... Maybe as I get away here, you can see. But this is dense. But here's the Kusa dogwood. So this is a 6-inch cast of the Kusa dogwood. One has a twine rope on the back for hanging. And then all of my stuff comes, except for those little framed, the little guys, the little ones that hang with the strings and stuff, they don't come with a... do. But see, this is a Kusa one. There's just a little bit of residual tinting on it. Real quick, I'm going to show you. When I say they're all one of a kind, and I don't have duplicates. Okay, so this is the exact same cat. So I use the exact same mold. All right, so the arrangement of the flowers and the look of the flowers is pretty much the same. But they're going to be a little different because they were two separate plaster pours. And then I tinted them differently, so I hand tinted. So they're still all original, limited edition as far as the work that I put into them, but I did use the same clay mold for both of those. Again, this is looking really psychedelic. I don't know if I back up a little bit if that helps. It doesn't seem to. Here, I've got another one. This is the larkspur, the delphinium again, with a blue background tint. And that one is in a round shadow box kind of float frame. Here, I've got a big one. I'm going to pull it out. Here we go, and tip this. So this is a nice big circle, 14-inch cast of sunflower. Bishop's flower, more sunflower, more of the bishop's flower, the larkspur, another sunflower, but from the back. They're so beautiful, even the backs are beautiful. when it comes to the sunflowers. And you see I've got some of the leaves in there as well. There's more of the larkspur delphinium. So that's a big, I'm going to back up here a little bit, but sorry, that one's in the shadow a bit, guys. This is a daisy and that erngenium in a small cast, a natural plaster. That's more what it looks like, guys. They're not as yellow as they're turning out. The natural plaster is a very cream color. Down here, I have another one. This one's hand painted. It's a sunflower. And you can see the impression of the sunflower on there. Here is another beautiful one. This is a hand tinted cast of daisies and baby breath and Peruvian lilies. And here's another. This is a big 16 by 20. I've got baby's breath, sunflowers, stock, and this, and some daisies, I think I said in that one. That's a natural plaster. I've got another framed float box frame, and so you can see it's got a decorative mica, kind of shiny edge on this one with Peruvian lilies and daisies. And this one has a rubbing to accentuate the high points. This is another Kusa dog. That's a 14-inch. I also have a daisy and kind of a starburst shape. This one has a champagne finish, metallic champagne. Of aster flowers. And here, they're daisies and animal shapes, like for a nursery or somebody that really likes animals. I've got a bunny rabbit, purple butterfly, a yellow ducky, wash, and then I have the butterfly in pink. And some more of these little shadow box casts. There's another daisy and kind of a metallic champagne. I've got a small here, a hexagon frame that's got a blue background and with a daisy Peruvian lily in that. I've got a chrysanthemum and a scallop-shaped heart here. Got a penstemon. You guys can see the detail in the flowers, but that's round cast. Another round cast. This one's a maple leaf with a kind of a gray beige background. We have a maple here, Amur maple, with the seeds and the leaves, so the tip of a branch. I have a couple casts left over. They were from Christmas, but here I've got one in green. Of pine with pine cones and a bow ribbon on the top. And you can see what's really cool is I had gotten pine cones from Hobby Lobby or some sort of, and they had glitter on them. They were beautiful, so I used them, and what's really cool is some of the glitter came off, and it's actually now part of the cast, which is awesome. I love when stuff like that happens. But I also have it, here is in pink. And you can see that one has some of the glitter on it too. I tried to make it as red as I could, but the plaster, anytime you add tint to plaster, it pastels everything. One of these days I'll figure out how to get it deeper, and left the natural plaster background, and then I've got a metallic copper penny shadow box frame for that. And here's just a very, these natural plaster where I just, I washed off some of the clay staining, but not all of it. If you get too much off of it, sometimes you can't see the pattern. But this is just kind of a classic, clean, minimalist type artwork that could be really beautiful and pop on a wall. Maybe that you've got some color. I wouldn't put this on a white wall. And then I have some additional frames. These are, some of them are like champagne, and here this one is copper. This one's the metallic copper. This one is the metallic champagne. This one is another copper frame. This one's a little more natural plaster. You can see there's a little bit of residual pink tinting on this delphinium. I have here, it's a pearlite, it's a bunny shape with delphinium impressions. And then I have another purple with a champagne colored frame. Down here I have a natural tinted round of the daffodils, chickweed, round of the daffodils, chickweed, little sparkle. Here's another delphinium. This one is in a iridescent frame, blue tint. This is a frame with a natural plaster carnation. And down here with a natural plaster carnation. And down here in the leaf. I'll kind of zoom in so you guys can see the detail on these plants. I think I've pretty much shown you guys everything that I have down here right now. I have some really big casts at home. I'm varnishing them in the next day or two, and we'll probably be posting those soon. They're beautiful. Really big ones, like 23-inch diameter circles. A big hydrangea. I think that one's like a 16 by 20. So you guys will see me posting stuff soon. As always, you can go to my website. It's www.midwestwildernessconnections.com. That's where you can find my botanical bas-relief artwork that's up for sale. So all of this stuff is on there if you're interested. I also have nature photography and nature-themed gift cards. Majority of them are from the Midwest. They're Midwest themed, so if you know somebody who really loves the Midwest, check that out. I also have some things in there. I've got stickers for kids of Midwest wildlife and flowers, or the ones with flowers, they're circles, so some people like to use those on greeting cards on the envelopes to seal them. I know they've been used for that as well. So, alright guys, thank you for joining me, and I will keep you guys posted on all of my new stuff that's coming out. Thanks.